Welcome back, everyone. I thought it was about time to do an update on the Bavarian T-gauge layout. It's probably long overdue. We'll just scan around here for a second. Run some trains in a little bit. Let's look down this way. Not sure down here in the corner if this ever showed up in the other video or not, but there's a highway there right on the edge of the layout with an off-ramp. Some traffic on there. So one of the updates is I ran across some of these JTT scenery products, trees. The green ones, I have 6 of them. I thought they look really nice. Probably be a good addition to this layout. So I have to find where I want to put them. And then the other ones I got out of a packet, also JTT scenery products. And they're supposed to be HO scale flowering trees. But since this layout's springtime, I thought maybe some flowering trees would be appropriate. So I'll have to look and place them around, make sure they look right, and see if I add some of those. There's red that are shown there, there's yellow, and I think purple and maybe pink. But those might look good on this layout since it's springtime layout. So we'll do that in a second here. I was just panning over this way a bit. And then we're going to run some trains too, some new ones. So we'll get to that in just a moment. All right, so I took a bunch of those trees, and you'll see there's a bunch of them here in this container, just so I can grab them easier than in the package they come in. And I just started placing them around the layout, close to where I think I might want to add them. There's 2 laying there, 3 there by the lake, and some flowering trees. Some there. I put a good many over here behind this one house. So I just laid them there, get an idea where I want them. And this horse farm here, I think I put a bunch down maybe close to that hedge that's around the barn in that area. While I was scanning here, I just wanted to point out over here by the little town, and I don't think it was highlighted in any of the other 2 videos about this layout. Just look in here from this angle of the town. If you look close, it's hard to see, obviously, T-gauge, small. But there's a bike rack there behind that high-rise, loaded with bikes. Scanned on this way. See the back side of the houses. Okay, I'm going to start planting these trees, and I'll show you in a moment how they look when I'm done. All right, so I planted all those trees, all except maybe 5 of them, because I thought there was enough on there to make it look right. So just pan around here. There's a couple right there. They're newer. Over here, along that hedge, there's 2 here, and then 1 by the track. A couple yellow, well, not a couple, 3 flowering trees there. A bunch up in the field here. In the park. And over here, as soon as we get to it, there's some red flowering trees there. that house's backyard and on the side, and then some on each side of the driveway at the horse farm. So I think it's a nice addition. Seems like you can never have too many trees. And I didn't show or take time to put on the video actually doing the trees, because it's fairly easy. I mean, I'll just show you here right in front. So I have these really sharp pair of tweezers, and since this is a foam underneath of the grass sheets, it's really easy to just poke a hole with the tweezers, and then I will grab the base of the tree with these pliers and put it in the hole. And this way, like if I go like that, use the pliers, then I have some force in case it has to go down further than what I made a hole. So that's it. Have all the trees on there. And then soon here, well, in a few minutes, we'll run some trains on here. Probably run the ICE train first, and then I have several new items, some freight train items that we'll put on here and run, and we'll go from there. Here's another thing I wanted to point out on the update. This is the shelf I made to hold the power pack, and I went over it in the separate video about adding shelves to all these T-gauge layouts. So this was one of the methods, and in the video, the other video that I showed it, I think I commented that I wasn't real sure if I liked this because it didn't seem stable enough. And I'm reaffirming that right now, because you see it's very flimsy. Like, there it is, okay? First of all, it's tilted down a lot. And then if you bump it just in the least amount, it will come off. So obviously I don't want that, because, you know, that's the last thing I need is for this thing to fall off. And of course this would be attached and then break off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this existing bracket off, and I'd suggest that this one was not a good idea. It looked like it in the beginning. It is easy to do that, but it's not very stable. See, one little bump and it's gone. So I'm going to add these brackets like I did on the other layouts, whereas they actually slip down in a holder, and it's a lot more stable. I mean, even if you bump it, it doesn't come off. You have to lift up a couple inches for it to come off. So I'm going to take this one off and mount these other ones and put it on there, and then we'll see how that looks and how it works. I put the new brackets on the side of the layout. There they are. And here's the two on the shelf. And on the bottom side, just like the other layouts on the shelves, I added a triangle support brace. It helps give it more stability once it's on. Let me see if I get it on here. There. All ready to go. It won't come off easily like the other one. It's a lot stronger. And now I'm ready to put the power pack on. So let's see, it's not right down here, on top of all the train magazines. There it is. There's more details. There are a few people out there hiking. They either just came from the castle ruins up here, or they're going to them. Right there. Go back to the city over here, or the little town. This is actually just the edge of the town. There in the park is what's probably left from a medieval era town wall, and they preserved it right there at the park. See in front of it, two people look like they're stretched out doing calisthenics right by that hedge. Probably going for a jog. We'll move over this way. Down there, see a person with their dog. Some people here at the lake, sitting on the rock. And then we'll move over this way to the right a little more. And back here, close, right in front of the backdrop, is this farm. See, there's some what appear to be Holstein cows there. Another house. Looks like right there in the front yard they have some kind of decorative planter right next to the driveway. Yeah, I'm going up here to the mountain. See what we see here. Going up this switchback road. Actually coming down the switchback road. Three bicyclists. So it looks like they're leaning hard into the inside turn. It's a pretty sharp turn and steep. And then coming up here to the horse farm, right there, see some riders. Looks like they probably just left the barn area, going out for a ride, having a fun day. 4 greenhouses there. There's the ICE 3 train sitting there. All right, here's the ICE 3 train coming along here. Show it from some different angles than what you're used to seeing it in the other videos. All right, I'm going to stop the ICE 3 train and put on the freight train that I showed earlier. All right, here's the Deutschbahn Class 185 electric locomotive with the 3 cushion steel coil cars. Cushion coil cars, whatever you want to say they are. So they're on the track, ready to roll. Let's get a different little angle from here. Turn it like that. All right, let's see it go. All right, so that's pretty much it for the update on the Bavarian layout. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Please subscribe, and we'll see what happens on the next video for Bavaria.